Hey, let's try talking about enlightenment. But let's try to avoid the spiritual terminology. At least I'll try to, as best as I can. I guess we can just start by kind of defining the term as simply as possible. Kind of a loaded term, but I'll just define it as just no longer confusing your thoughts about reality for reality. That's like the simplest way I can put it. I don't know why it's such a taboo topic. And even if you look at different traditions for some reason, they seem to have different definitions. So let's not really care too much about if this definition is right or wrong, since it seems like different traditions can't come to a consensus anyways on what this thing even is. Is it even real? So I'm just going to talk from this very specific definition. No longer confusing your thoughts, beliefs, and opinions of reality for reality. And it's just that simple. It's just whatever's here or rising is here because that's how it is. And you suffer when you believe a thought or have an opinion that doesn't align with what's happening. And it can be even really simple stuff like if you watch me, you've seen plenty of times where I just have like a plushie like in the background, like a little stuffed animal. And you have the belief like adults or men shouldn't have stuffed animals. Well, there's a thought or a belief, and if you believe it and you're looking at this, you're going to think something's wrong. And when teachers talk about seeking is just trying to fix reality as it is to fit your ideas of reality. And yeah, it's really just that simple. And it can feel great to stop believing your thoughts, kind of like how if you squeeze your hand and you did it for decades of your life and you finally let go, it probably feels pretty great. And that's what happens when you believe your thoughts and opinions. Is you've been thinking for decades. And when you stop, it's like you mentally just let go and you get that relief. And things just start to relax, kind of on their own. I mean, I'm sure you've had to study for something or put a lot of mental effort into something, whether it be for school or because you wanted to learn something. And thinking takes energy. Thinking tires you out. Like if I have to figure out an equation, like a math problem, that's going to take energy and I'm going to get tired afterwards. Well, when I'm not doing math, but in general, before, just constantly thinking about myself, thinking about other people, thinking about what I should be doing, what's good, what's bad, what's right, what's wrong. There's always just thinking. Seeking is just trying to think your way into reality or trying to validate your thinking as more real than reality as it is already right in front of you. You can just pay attention without the thoughts and opinions, and that's it. You don't gotta struggle with making sense of it. It's just look directly at it. It is as it is, no matter what you think or believe about it. It's like if I were to describe drinking something, like I have like this smoothie here. I can tell you it's sweet, but that's not the same thing as if I just opened up and drank it. But I'm not thirsty, so I'm not gonna drink it. So I'm probably giving a bad example by not drinking it, but whatever. Some things are just like really triggering. So maybe for a better example, just thinking of something that kind of triggers a lot of people. Maybe we can talk about relationships, particularly romantic ones. Especially you have a belief like my partner should be this way, but then they're not. Or even just a belief about a specific gender or type of people, and you believe they're like this, and if they don't conform to that belief, well, you suffer because you believe something's wrong, because you believe this thought about how a certain person or a certain group of people should be, and they aren't acting like this thought you believe in, then you feel like there's something wrong because they're not conforming to your ideas. And let's just say enlightenment is just seeing that as just a thought or a belief. And you can just let it go and see this person or this group of people just as they are without the opinion. You can just not have much of an opinion at all and just see as they are, how they're presenting, how they're moving, how they're talking. Doesn't mean you have to like or dislike it. Your opinion is kind of irrelevant here. It's just seeing things for they are. It's pretty nice to not to have to evaluate everything, evaluate other people, or the best part, not really evaluating yourself. Because when you're trying to fix yourself or you believe there's a problem about yourself, well, that's a thought, that's an opinion, and just seeing there's no one to fix because that's just another thought, another opinion, and you can let that go and you can just kind of relax. Just enjoy things as they are right now. It's not like a denial of who you are or what you like. Because you fight against your because if you fight against your own desires, you probably have a belief, well, I should be calm, or I should be happy, or I should know better. I should know how to do this. There's a lot of thinking, there's a lot of shoulds, and you gotta be just as you are. If you're afraid, you can just be afraid. You don't gotta be like, oh, I gotta overcome fear so I never experience fear again, because that's an idea in your head, like an idealized or a thought-based version of you, like never afraid. Like you can just be afraid when you're afraid. You can be happy when you're happy. You can be jealous when you're jealous. You can just be as you are and just let it kind of pass by. Because when you resist your feelings, they're just gonna build up. Like you just kept clenching harder and harder and harder and just trying to avoid letting something natural and preventing something natural from just having its sort of course and flowing through you. Is just gonna build up. Which is why I really like the word shadow. Just thinking of the word shadow as, you're just kind of repressing something, not really letting something flow through you. You're resisting it physically somehow. And you're really building like this mental image of how you should be. Like if you have this image, like you're supposed to be a good person and you have all these ideas, and if you don't conform to them, well, there's some dissonance. Like there's something wrong with me because I'm not a good person. But you have to have the belief that you're supposed to be a good person. When these people talk about empty, is just empty of really of a perception of how you should be, and you just see yourself as you are. If you're nervous, you can be nervous. If you're sad, you can just be sad. There's nothing that says you should be anything other than as you are, except a thought that says, well, you should be happy. You should be smart. You should be hot. You should be, I don't know. I don't know what people want. You should be successful. Whatever. It's all just conforming to an idea, and all ideas are just thoughts. So really, we just go by this earlier definition that I'm trying to give of enlightenment, of just no longer believing a thought over what's actually right in front of your face as it is. It's nothing really special. It's not really trying to argue for anything being special. You just sort of stop arguing with reality and you're just like, huh. But you don't really talk about reality because that's just more thoughts and opinions. I mean, if you can and you do, but you just see that as just another thought because thoughts are fine. I have certain thoughts and beliefs. Like I live in America and it's customary to drive on the right side of the road. Because if I don't hold this thought or belief, or at least follow it, I'm gonna get hurt. The thoughts and stuff, and beliefs, they're fine. Just see them for what they are. It's just a thought. You don't have to take them as like a law. Like if you believe, what's a weird thing people believe? I don't know. Let's go with something that seems to pop up a lot around the people around me, or yeah, it's the thing where like, oh, here's a good one that happens. Maybe not around me, because I'm not around people too often, but I hear this a lot, and it's the whole men and women can't be friends. And that's a thought. Whether they can or can't, it doesn't really matter. It's because someone can believe it, someone can't believe it, but it's just an opinion and a thought. And if someone has a thought about something, it seems real to them because they believe it, even if it's not inherently true, because no thought is true, it's just a thought. But yeah, if you believe a thought like that, you're gonna probably have a pretty terrible time with the opposite gender. Or every interaction is always sort of filtered through this belief, as opposed to just not having a thought or opinion in the first place and just kind of living and seeing how things unfold naturally without a specific belief of how things are. It's really just that simple. Just let things unfold without having your opinions or thoughts or beliefs get in the way. Just let things go naturally. Simple, right? So you don't really got to get rid of your thoughts. Just see them for what they are. I mean, I kind of need my thoughts to still do complicated math problems. Although, thankfully, there are computers that really just take a whole lot of that out of the equation. At this point, I'm just rambling. But yeah, if we do talk about enlightenment like this, if someone who wants to talk and say they are enlightened and talk as if they know something you don't, I'd probably be very wary. Because to know is to kind of believe a thought. It's like, I have this thought and I believe it's true. That's kind of what you say. That's kind of what you're trying to portray when you say you know something. And just coming back to really going like, I don't really know, because anything I try to know just seems to be a perception or a thought. And I'm back to really just not knowing, because if you ask me like, what's the secret to happiness? I'm like, I don't know. It's just a thought. And if you think the thought's interesting, you're going to follow it and try to figure it out. You're seeking an answer. To stop seeking is just stop trying to figure it out. Stop trying to get an answer. Stop following your thoughts. Just be directly with what is. Even if the most direct answer is, well, there is no answer. Like, you don't have to know. You can just have a question without having it answered. Like, it's fine to have questions, and it's fine to figure them out. But when you feel like it needs to be answered or there's something wrong, that's where some of the suffering comes. And it's really believing that there's a right answer to everything. And you really come clear and see that there isn't really an answer. It's just things are just as they are. Not in a right way, Because then there needs to be an opposite, like there's a wrong way, as if life could be anything other than exactly as it is. You can have the thought and the opinion that it's wrong or bad or something's not right, but life is still happening as it is regardless. Even the thinking and the thoughts and the disbelief, it's happening in reality as it is. So you can still think and be against it, but life isn't against you having thoughts and believing stuff against it. It's just letting everything be. And it's just being okay with just saying, I don't know. There isn't really an answer to your question. There's nothing to really figure out. It's just look at it as it is. Even if the most honest thing you can say is, I don't know, or there doesn't seem to be an answer. And you don't need to try to fix that. It's like you're tired, but you have this thought that you should be productive. And if you believe the thought, you're going to feel bad. Or if you're just tired and there's no belief that you got to be productive or you got to be happy, you got to be cheerful or whatever, and you're just, I'm just tired, and you just let yourself be tired, then where's the problem? Other than a thought that says you should be something else or you should be better. Honestly, I don't really know what else to say. I think this is a good part to end it. Well, thanks for listening to me ramble. Hope you enjoy your day. Bye.